back to my channel. My name is Becky or Rebecca, and on this channel it is Life with Becky, so I literally do gaming, lifestyle, motherhood, pregnancy, anything that I feel comfortable doing and want to do. So if you like that, stick around. And today's video is going to be kind of different. So the premise is I'm going to be doing my makeup and talking with you guys my 2022 recap and my goals for 2023. Now, I did this in 2019 and I actually stuck to a lot of my goals in that, so why don't I do it and see how we go. I do a lot of TikToks, so if you want you can go follow me on there, and obviously subscribe to this YouTube channel if you like. And yeah, let's get into the video. Okay, glasses are off. So to preface too, I've already put concealer under my eyes. I've seen this trend on TikTok where you do your concealer and your contour and stuff first, and then you put your foundation, or I guess in my case BB cream. But I'm just gonna do concealer and then do my BB cream and then do the rest. So yeah. So to start off with 2022, I was super pregnant. Yeah, I was super pregnant from January to March when I had my daughter, and yeah, I had my baby shower in January as well, so that was good. Unfortunately, I'd planned to have 2 baby showers, but the bigger main one was cancelled because of COVID. There was a huge surge of COVID cases, so I was only able to have one, which again I'm very thankful for. And I know a lot of women don't do baby showers, and that's totally your preference, whatever you want to do. But yeah, I really wanted to have one, so at least I got to have one. Yeah, and then I spent most of the summer inside because allergies, because I'm highly allergic to pollen. Being pregnant, that enhanced that a lot. Obviously, being out of breath didn't help either because I have asthma as well. So I do have a pregnancy playlist if you want to go back and get more detail. But basically, we found during my pregnancy that my daughter has a rare chromosome deletion, or our daughter, I should say. So we knew that she was going to be early. And so I was getting weekly checkups at that point as well, at the beginning of last year. So yeah, I was getting checkups every week, and when I was 33 weeks and 3 days pregnant, which would have been a Thursday because every Monday I turned a new week, which was the 18th of March from memory, we did a regular checkup, and I'd sort of been noticing the last day or so that there was just a difference in movement, not so much decrease, but it was just different. There was something different, and my OB was like, "Oh, your amniotic fluid has decreased." And up until that point during my pregnancy, I had an increase of fluid, and because of my daughter's small chin, they were concerned that if I got more fluid, that they would have to drain some of it to help her compensate with her breathing and stuff. But then it started to decrease. And she said there's something off about how your daughter's moving and stuff like that, so let's do a couple of Celestone shots, and for today as in Thursday and Friday, and come back on Monday, pack a hospital bag which we'd already packed, and we'll go from there. So that weekend felt very long and draining, to say the least, and then yeah, so it came up to Monday, and also over the couple of weeks, I think, was when I'd started to get some swelling, in my feet and stuff like that. There was no signs other than a little bit of swelling right up until I gave birth of preeclampsia, so I'll get to that in a second. And then coming into Monday, we went in as usual, we had our bags ready, and she did the scan, and she's like, yeah, well, because the other thing was that my umbilical cord fluid and placenta fluid were elevated and a bit off, so that's also why she wanted to do the Celestone injections, just in case we had to deliver her early. And then come Monday, we went in as normal, and she did a scan, and she's like, okay, well, she said one part is stable again, which I think was the umbilical cord, but my placenta was still off with the fluid and stuff. So she went and chatted to 2 different pediatricians. She came back and she was like, we need to deliver her as early as tomorrow. And throughout the whole weekend, I had said to my partner, I was like, I feel like we're going to be delivering her on Tuesday. This was Monday, we had the scan, and the following day was Tuesday, because Tuesday was the 22nd, of March, which is when she was born, and that's such a significant date. And I just kept saying to my partner, he doesn't remember this, but I remember saying, like, I feel like she's gonna be born on Tuesday, she's gonna be, and he was like, no, he was like, I'm sure that she'll be, like, we'll still be pregnant. And because that Sunday we had our maternity shoots, and I was like, I got a feeling we're gonna have her on Tuesday, and lo and behold, she's like, okay, and she's like, well, what do you want to do? You can do an induction or you can do a C-section. She said because of how small she was weighing, she said I would be concerned doing an induction because we can't control the contractions when it's full force like that. And yeah, so I was like, no, I said I knew from the beginning when we knew that she had a chromosome deletion that I would be having a C-section because it would just be easier medical wise and for everybody to be prepared, especially like NICU and stuff. So we went with that, and so that was put under as a elective scheduled C-section because elective being my choice and it was scheduled for Tuesday. So we went through, we did all the pre-admission stuff, and I opted to have the marina inserted then as well during my C-section, and that was fine. Yeah, so then comes to the morning of, we rock up, I think it was around 10 or something like that. I do also have a birth video as well, go watch that if you want to, but yeah, so they wheeled me in, so then we rocked up early morning, they did like a general screening, and they found that my blood pressure was high. I'm like, is your blood pressure, have you had this issue through your pregnancy? I was like, no, this is literally the first time ever. And my heart rate was elevated a little bit, but I also had anxiety because I do during like surgeries. I do struggle with surgery and stuff like that, so they were like, oh, maybe it's that, but your blood pressure's off, so we'll keep an eye on that. They did a blood screening, and I had a lot of blood drawn that day too because we were doing cell care as well. If you don't know, cell care is a stem cell collection centre here in Australia, and they do, they collect your baby's umbilical cord and or placenta, I think, blood stuff, and they store it. So we were doing that, and so I had to get blood drawn for that as well. But then they did the screening. So then we were wheeled in, and literally just as they started cutting me open, a guy walked in and was like, hey, she's got severe preeclampsia. Okay, and then the anesthesiologist guy was like, so you've got a condition called severe preeclampsia, but you know, you're in the right place. I was like, okay, cool. So she would have been delivered that day anyway, because it's just so crazy that I happened to develop preeclampsia overnight, essentially, because I'd had obviously the pre-admission stuff where they check your blood pressure and stuff the day prior, the afternoon prior, and my blood pressure was fine. I didn't have any like, you know, the urine tests that they do, I didn't have any peaks at all, and just so happened that, yeah, it was just so weird. So anyway, so from March to July was so fucking rough emotionally because she was in NICU and hospital for that long. She was born on the 22nd of March in King Edward, and we were transferred to PCH 2 days later. She had so many ultrasounds, so many scans. Oh my god, the first 2 weeks was like discovering and like, yeah, like getting a handle and an idea of what her chromosome deletion was, and if she had a cleft palate, which she does. She has a hard cleft palate, which she is scheduled to have that surgery on the 3rd of February. As I'm filming this, it's the 21st today of January, so yeah, so that was rough. Obviously, like, the nurses are incredible, but the amount of times I wept and cried, especially the first few weeks, obviously postpartum, but oh my god, postpartum in NICU, especially with a medical needs baby like Ellie, who like, because of her small jaw, she had a lot of issues. Yeah, she just, I've already done this, girl. I don't know. I think I did. Fuck, anyway. So like, NICU is a rough journey. And it wasn't until her jaw distraction surgery in early July. She had it on the 4th of July. And yeah, since then, we brought her home on the she was discharged on the 21st of July, but I always say the 22nd of July because we stayed at my mum's that night, and then she drove us home the 22nd of July, so I say like we were home on the 22nd of July. So she was pretty much in hospital for like 4 months. She was 4 months old when we brought her home, and yeah, then from then on it's just been adjusting, and she struggled with adjusting a lot. Like, she lost a lot of weight. Like, the first week and a half, I think she lost like 280 grams, and it was a struggle. Like, and then also in that time, like, I stopped pumping, she switched to formula, like, because it just got too much for me to like have to pump and express and like give her that bottle. And because she was NGT fed, it was through the pump, the kangaroo pump at the time, and it was just a lot. And I was like, no, we're switching to formula. And then yeah, so from then on, when she started getting weight and stuff, then we sort of settled in. And really, it's only been like the last month or so that I've been like, oh, I'm a human being too. Like, you know how you just, when you're a first time mum, you just get so wrapped up when you bring them home, and you kind of lose yourself a bit. And I was at that stage. So it's only been now that I've been able to realise and be like, okay, I need to focus on myself as well, be a priority for myself. You know, like, obviously my daughter's a priority, but like having me up in that category as well. So that's that. So yeah, we had a lovely Christmas, and that's kind of been it. We've had a few ups and downs. She had COVID, we got COVID finally, but she was actually the easiest out of all of us. And then she also got RSV as well, which she did end up in hospital for, but she generally recovered quickly, considering there was a big outbreak at the time, and considering her history, they were even like, she's doing pretty well. She spent 3 nights in hospital and 1 night with oxygen. But yeah, and then we obviously had Christmas, and now we're here. So 2023. This year, obviously, she turns 1, which is like, what the fuck? That's just mind-boggling to me. I'm gonna put on some more concealer to lighten my face a bit, because I feel like I definitely overdid it. 2023, well, I know we're already like mid-January, but still, it's never too late. So I guess at the beginning of the year I already had in mind what I wanted to focus on, and that's obviously myself. Not to be selfish, but like, you know, being a mum, it's very time consuming, and you do kind of lose yourself, like I said. So that I knew that was going to be my big focus this year, and it already has been. No one to blush. So yeah, I knew I wanted to focus on myself this year, and get back into, you know, healthy things and like therapy and stuff. So I really wanted to also talk about like postpartum and like bringing a baby home and stuff, because it's rough. Like, there have been moments where I've yelled and thrown things around, and like, that's not okay for me to express my emotion that way. My frustration's not at her, and I tell her that. Like, I apologize every time. Not that it's okay to do it in the first place, but you know, like, I'm trying to like correct, because I grew up with a bit of that abuse, like yelling and stuff like that. So it's kind of like natural to me, which I hate. I hate that that's a natural thing, it's a trauma thing, but I'm trying. So I'm going to do very, very, very basic makeup today. I guess obviously goal number 1 was to focus more on me. You know, therapy, I am going to switch therapists to a CBT therapist, because the therapist I have, she's great. She got me through my pregnancy and NICU and stuff, and her daughter, she had a lot of issues with her daughter too, with the chromosome deletion. And so I felt like I could, oh god, so yeah, I felt like I had someone that I could lean on in a way. But yeah, and then like just recently I went, and she kind of like invalidated my experience, because I was like, oh, you know, I do get angry, and like I want to be able to help stop that, well, not stop it, but like help, you know, get to it before it gets bad. And she's like, oh, welcome to motherhood. I was like, that's pretty invalidating. So so yeah, because of that alone, I'm going to switch therapists, but switching to a therapist that does CBT and I am reading a book at the moment. I'll put it up here of what I'm reading on Audible, and it's pretty interesting. It goes in depth of like, and it gives examples of what CBT is and like what it can do and stuff like that. Like as I'm doing very basic makeup, but like my cake is faced, my face is caked. I think I must have done this twice, my bad. So yeah, that's definitely one aspect I want to work on this year, is my mental health and like getting better with, you know, regulating my emotions and stuff like that. I am going to quickly cut off camera to like redo my base a little bit because it's a bit too much for me, so I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Let's do that again. I'm not going to bother doing the contour and stuff again, I'm just whatever. Physical health as well, so I'm going to go to chiropractor. Yeah. So physical as well, I'm going to see a chiropractor. I already have. I did it during my pregnancy and I found it was great, so I've continued to try to, but I'm going to continue now, postpartum. And yeah, that's kind of it for the self-care and putting myself first alongside my daughter. Yeah, obviously like she still takes top because she has a lot of medical things that we have to keep top of and appointments and all that kind of stuff, but yeah. And then yeah, the next one I want to do is focus a lot more on like content creation. I have always been big on like self-doubt. I do critique myself way too much. We all do, but like mine's bad. Like mine's pretty bad. So I need to work on that because, you know, I do have a decent following on TikTok, so I'm really grateful for that. Not that I strive for that, but it is, you know, I'm obviously doing something to keep people watching, so yeah, yeah, it's definitely something I need to work on, and my confidence in who I am as a person. I think because as a child, like, I just got shut down a lot, and that obviously did not help my self-esteem and my confidence in myself at all, so yeah, so that's something I definitely want to work more on this year, is, you know, content creation, TikTok, YouTube, and just have a little bit more confidence and just do it. So that's kind of the plan, is to just focus more on the things that I used to enjoy before I became a mum, and I still enjoy, but, you know, focus more on them. And I guess being a mum, it's about creating a schedule around those things and just doing your best. You know, like there will be days where I won't be able to film like this, or, you know, that kind of thing. Okay, I am back. I've done my hair, and sorry, I had to cut off a little bit because my phone was overheating and I was like, girl. Anyway, didn't bring any lip stuff, but oh well. So yeah, this is the final look. I think that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and again, if you like it, subscribe, like, comment down below, and follow me on TikTok for more. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.